Looking back to the start of 2020, digital transformation dominated the agendas of Kiwi businesses.
Non-essential businesses in New Zealand must now close.
The massive impact of COVID-19 and the resulting lockdown has undoubtedly acted as a catalyst, speeding up consumers' digital adoption and introducing new trends at a rate that very few people could have predicted.
We are all now preparing as a nation to go into self-isolation.
In March 2020, when the lockdowns and social distancing protocols first began, Facebook's analytics department reported a 50% surge in messaging. On that same wave, TikTok global downloads grew month on month by over 5%, which doesn't sound huge, but it meant that they added over 12 million unique visitors on the app in the US alone. Because we were all staying at home during lockdown and because there was a lot in the world going on that we wanted to talk about, overall social media use really skyrocketed. In fact, a study done by Lightrix shows that 46% of women and 41% of men spent more time on social media during COVID-19 than they ever had prior. And some new research has shown that 80 to 90% of people now consume news and entertainment for an average of 24 hours in any given week. That's a very high average and represents a staggering amount of time engaging with online media. So it's vital that your brand has a presence in that equation. Now I've got this interesting graph here to show you just how much time we were all spending online, not just on Facebook, but across the internet. This is from Chorus, who tracked our internet use during lockdown here in New Zealand. I always love some good local statistics. So that blue line there is showing the network traffic or internet use before lockdown. Then that green line shows that huge jump during lockdown. Looks like 8 p.m. at night is when we were really going to town, probably watching Tiger King or other Netflix shows among all the usual social media and Zoom use that went berserk during lockdown. Then in alert level 3, our internet use went down a little bit as we gained some more freedoms. Then in level 2, when schools and workplaces started going back to normal, our use did drop a little bit, but not quite back down to pre-COVID levels, especially during the day because some people were still working from home, but also because people were just in new habits of using social media a lot more during the day than they were before. Level 2 and 3 is when we saw a lot of online sales ramp up. Despite job losses and pay cuts for some, discretionary spending was up during this period and some online stores really did well, reporting their best months in years. So with all this extra time online in 2021 and beyond, there is room for you to gain more from the increased use of social media, but it can be difficult to figure out how to speak to your audience online during a time of crisis, especially through alert level changes, which I know has been a big struggle for some businesses. So focus on interacting regularly and focus on community building, which is even more critical now than it was before. Especially for you online retailers who are getting more and more sales, keep in mind that your brand experience is so critical now because you don't have that connection fostered in store or in person like you'd have been offline. In 2021, you can expect that your audiences will spend more time on social media, which means that's where your brand should be striving to reach them. And by cultivating meaningful engagement with your audience, this familiarity can bolster brand affinity, brand loyalty, and ultimately your brand success. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.